Turn off your cameras and let's begin. Thank you, ladies, and mute yourselves. Hello there. As you can see on the screen, ABWA's mission statement is the very first slide. And the ABWA mission statement for our newest members has been constant throughout our 70-year history. And that is to bring together business women of diverse occupations and to provide opportunities for them to help themselves and others grow personally and professionally through leadership, education, networking support, and national recognition. Now, within ABWA's mission statement, we have identified the 4 most important tenets, and you will feel in those tenets, they're palpable at every level of our ABWA community. The first is bringing women together for the purpose of leadership, for professional development, for networking, and lastly, national recognition. And this evening, in the Just in Time webinar, you will see that played out as well. I'd like to welcome you to this evening's webinar, and Happy New Year to everyone. Of course, by now, you know my name is Renee Street, and I am the Executive Director on behalf of the American Business Women's Association, and this is our very first Just-in-Time webinar of 2022. Now, for our newest members, I want to tell you that these webinars are hosted at least on a quarterly basis, and they're done to keep our league leaders and members like yourself informed about the benefits of membership, the opportunities that are afforded you as a member in ABWA, and the resources available to you. A few housekeeping items before we get started. Let me first say everyone is muted with the exception of our panelists here this evening. There are several resources that are referenced throughout this event. I didn't put them as handouts, but tomorrow you will be able to download those resources around 5 p.m. Central Standard Time in the National Resources. Now, again, that's 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you try to find something at noon, you won't find it. Now, speaking of tomorrow, you will also receive a system-generated certificate. And what that means, it's coming from the Citrix platform. So if you do not receive it, it is most likely blocked from your spam filter. But if any case, I would suggest that you first look in your junk box if you don't see it at your email. It usually comes 24 hours post-event. If you don't receive it, no worries. Now, if time permitting, we will answer your questions at the end of this evening. So I hope you have a pen and paper in hand, document those your questions that you may have throughout this session. And at any case, if you'd like to contact us by email tomorrow, please do so at webmail@abwa.org. Now, today we have 6 panelists. Oh my goodness, we do have 6 panelists. They're all in attendance, I'm happy to say. And what we're going to do here this evening, wow, that's great. What we're going to do here this evening is I'm going to ask them to turn on their microphone as well as their camera so that you can meet them in person. And they will introduce themselves, sharing their name, rank, and serial number. We will begin with the ABWA national team, Cynthia Bell. So Cynthia.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Renee. I would like to talk about the Indianapolis Charter Chapter at this time. Is that right?
No, not at this time.
Oh.
Just introduce what you do here in ABWA.
I'm sorry. I'm Cynthia Bell. I'm the Business Development Manager at ABWA. I work with our corporate sponsors. I talk to a lot of you on the telephone every day. And that's one of the best parts of my job.
Well, thank you, Cynthia. Next.
Hi, welcome. I'm Sherry Devry. I'm the Professional Development Manager for ABWA. I also coordinate the American Businesswomen Top 10 Award, and I'll be talking to you soon about our Apex Campus programs.
Well, thanks, Sherry.
Happy New Year. My name is Angela Zuba. I am the new formations and sales manager for ABWA National. I have some exciting initiatives to share with you tonight, so stay tuned.
Well, we don't have Cheryl Blair, so let's go on. Pam Carvel.
Hi, everyone. I'm Pam Carvel. I am the current chair of the Ambassador Steering Committee. I'm a Forever 10 and a past national officer, and I'm here to talk about and hope present to you what a resource the ambassadors are to you and about what they can offer you.
Well, thanks, Pam. And why don't you share with everyone where you are at this point in time, if you don't mind?
I'm currently in Longboat Key, Florida on vacation. So I'm doing, and yes, I do have a sling on. I fell yesterday and possibly broke my elbow. So, you know, things happen on vacation. What are you going to do?
We're happy to see you, Pam, and we're hoping you have a speedy recovery. And last but certainly not least.
Hi, everyone. I am Trina Kazi, your 2021-2022 National President of ABWA and a Forever 10. So glad everyone could join us tonight. Happy New Year, everyone.
Good, thank you. Well, we're going to everyone's going to mute themselves, turn off their camera, and then we're going to proceed with the rest of the event. As you can see on the screen, we have a full agenda. These are the same agenda items that we published in the invite for the Just in Time webinar. We will begin with a few special announcements, and we will end with a segment for new members presented by Pam Carvel and your National President, Trina Kazi. So let's begin with our first special announcement. You already got a clue of what that might be, but let me just begin by saying it was in 1952, before email, before fax, before text messaging and social media and iPhones, that we welcomed this chapter, the Indianapolis Charter Chapter, to the American Business Women's Association. Now, you know, in those days, there was very few or limited communication vehicles, but this was the vehicle that was used to publish and announce this momentous occasion, the Women in Business magazine. And it is noted as you see on the right-hand side of the screen, that we were welcoming this newly formed chapter in ABWA. That was 70 years ago when they chartered with 27 new members that were employed in a wide range of occupations, ranging from business owners to secretaries to store buyers to, you know, teachers, insurance representatives, and so on. They have a long history of leadership, strong leaders that has sustained them in these 70 years. 53 in all. And you could see that this list, which is 2 pages long, has been provided by them to publish here for this evening. Today, the Indianapolis Charter Chapter is still going strong. They have 43 active members. And this evening, we really want to take a few minutes to recognize them on this momentous occasion on their 70th anniversary, and to thank them for their dedication and commitment to fulfilling ABWA's mission, one woman at a time. Now, the ABWA national team thought it would be fun to compile a few and perhaps less well-known facts about the Indianapolis Charter Chapter, and that's what we're going to do here this evening. So this time, Cynthia, will you do the honors and share a few of those interesting facts with our audience participants here this evening?
Absolutely, Renee. I was just too excited to get started. And, you know, we don't get to congratulate someone with their 70th anniversary very often. So congratulations, Indianapolis Charter Chapter, on 70 years. That kind of strength really contributes to their vitality as an organization. Some of the details we have found out. This chapter is known for their excellence, especially evident by the number of times they've achieved best practices in league management. Since 2008, when this award was first introduced, they've crossed the threshold on that stage 13 times to be exact. Congratulations again. One of their favorite fundraisers is working at the Indianapolis 500 race. and they do hope to participate again this year. They've had numerous members who've served on the National Board of Directors, including Sid Berry Rice, Tracy Sweet, and Susie Mariuto. Their history is being preserved by the Indianapolis Historical Society, who received a sizable contribution of about 6 or 7 boxes that was assembled by Carol King, a member of this chapter. And when we asked President Marcy Meter what best describes the Indianapolis success in the past 70 years, she said, "Better together." I say that because this group of Indies always pitches in to help each other no matter what. Our chapter is definitely better together. I think as the association, we're all better together as well. So thank you so much, Indianapolis Charter Chapter, for persevering 70 years and being successful. Now, I understand Cheryl Blair has a special favor to ask. Cheryl?
Well, Cheryl Blair is not able to participate here this evening. She was not able to log in as a panelist, and so I will actually assume her role. What we like to do is that her special request to all of you was to send cards of congratulations or letters to the Indianapolis Charter Chapter. We ask that their momentous occasion or celebration is scheduled for March 6th, I believe. So if you will, send your cards of congratulations to us in care of the Indianapolis Charter Chapter, or the Indianapolis Charter Chapter in care of ABWA National. And you see the address on the screen, P.O. Box 4757, Overland Park, Kansas, and the zip code follows. So thank you so much, Indianapolis Charter Chapter, for doing 70 years. That is really quite impressive. Let's give them a round of applause. Yay. Our next announcement has to do with our top 10 businesswomen. Now, of course, we recognize these women at the National Women's Leadership Conference in 2021, but that was a few months ago, and I want to bring them back to the forefront. This is a prestigious class of women, and as you can see them on the screen, they were nominated by their leagues last year, just around this time, for their career achievements, their academic excellence, their contributions to their community, and the contributions to our fine association. And I'd like to introduce them, but before I do, I just want to encourage you to reach out and invite this fantastic group of women to a future ABWA meeting to hear their inspiring stories and to learn from them. So without further ado, let me introduce them to you from left to right. We have Cindy Osmer. This is starting at the top row. Cindy Osmer is a top 10 businesswoman, but she was also named as the American Businesswoman. Cindy Osmer is a member of the Crescent City Connection Express Network. Next to her is Felicia Carter Johnson. Felicia is a member of the Birmingham Charter Chapter. Following Felicia is Nanelle Mobby, a member of the Outlook Positive Express Network. And next is Rhonda Scott Johnson, the Oxon Hill Charter Chapter. And on the final row, on top row, is Kim Stengel, a member of the Women of Vision Express Network. Now, starting at the bottom from left to right, the lower row from left to right is Sandra De La Garza, a member of the Women Growing Together Express Network. Holly Hengsteback, a member of the Novi Oaks Charter Chapter. Nicole Travis, a member of the Cypher Express Network. Dr. April Murdaugh, a member of the Orange Park Charter Chapter. And Kathy Shuley, a member of the West Des Moines Charter Chapter. Now, the flyer you see on the screen can be downloaded, is available for download in the National Resources in Community Connections. Again, we hope you don't miss the opportunity to invite the class of 2022 to your next meeting. Now, our final announcement is that of the annual theme. We rose to the challenge in 2020, discovering new ways to convene in the middle of a pandemic. And in 2021, we had to reimagine our future by learning how to adjust and pivot on a dime. Now in 2022, we think it is time for us to move forward together towards tomorrow. Together towards tomorrow happens to be our annual slogan. And our theme symbol is that of the butterfly. We chose the butterfly because for many, butterflies symbolize life, transformation, endurance, change, and hope. We think that is apropos for our ABWA community. Now, a few things I want to share with you about ABWA's annual theme. It is a long-standing tradition in ABWA to have an annual theme. In fact, the first annual theme was introduced to the association in 1954. The theme title was 40 More in 54. But being a long-standing tradition doesn't mean it is a requirement for you to use. So if the theme doesn't resonate with you or the members of your league community, don't use it. That's my advice. So it's up to you whether or not this fits. Okay, let's move on to our next agenda item, and that is critical deadlines and dates to remember. So we're going to begin with January. January means it's time to turn in your council election reports. Yes, I know you see the deadline. That was January 15th, and this is January 20th. So obviously, if you haven't turned it in, you've missed the deadline. But, you know, we get it. There's the holidays. There's getting back to work after the holidays. So if you miss this deadline, please, please, please get up to speed. Send us that information and drop a check in the mail for your liability insurance. If you have any questions, again, you could reach out to our office by calling 1-800-228-0007 or contact us at webmail@abwa.org. Now, if your league wants to sponsor an impact scholarship through the Stephen Bupton Memorial Educational Fund, you're going to have to do a couple of things and make sure you meet the deadline by January 31st. But the first and most important is to define your eligibility criteria, and the second is to fund that scholarship. And there's a few other things as well. Well, what I like you to do, if you have any questions about that, you could refer to the SBMEF guide in the National Resources in the SBMEF category. You can call Jill Miller, our SBMEF administrator, at 1-800-228-0007, or you could contact us again at webmail@abwa.org. Now, on the next three screens, we're going to look at February deadlines. February means it is time to select your league's Woman of the Year if you haven't already. The Woman of the Year is a local award, and that means the eligibility criteria for this award is established by the league, whereas the national award is the top 10 businesswomen of ABWA. The eligibility criteria for this award is established by ABWA National and is published in this guide. We ask that you do this now because the deadline for this award is May 15th, and it takes time to complete the process. That is, if you want it to be a thoughtful submission. So select your league's top 10 nominee in the month of February. February also means it's time to nominate a candidate from your league for the National Board of Directors. That is, if there is a candidate, someone who is interested in serving in a leadership position at the national level and who qualifies to serve. More information can be found in the category in the National Resources titled Candidate Resources for National Office, and you see it reflected with the arrow on the screen. Now, Trina, I'm going to ask you, do you have anything that you would like to add about this? You are muted, Trina. Let's give her a few minutes. Okay, see if she could connect with us, and if not, we will just keep moving, and she could come in at the end. All right, so February means it is time to nominate your candidate from your league for the National Board of Directors. And as a reminder, the reason why you do it in February is because the deadline is March 1st. So you don't want to wait on February 28th trying to get that March 1st deadline. You can call a special meeting if you so choose in order to make this happen. My recommendation is you start now if you have someone that is interested. And this year, February also means that it is time to register for this year's 2022 regional conference events and to attend the regional conference events. As you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, they are listed in order of events, beginning with the Eastern Conference at the end of February, followed by the Western and Central. This year's events are in virtual, evident by the Omicron. We opted to go virtual for these conferences, and the agenda is not yet finalized, nor is the conference scheduled lineup, but you will see those in the very near future. The registration form, however, will be available for download tomorrow afternoon. Now we're doing something, ABWA National runs all kinds of incentives all throughout the year. Like at the National Women's Leadership Conference, we gave away $50,000 in scholarships. And later on in this webinar, we will give $500 of Vera Bradley products, $500+ of Vera Bradley products away as well. But this time, we're going to do something that we want to incentivize our first year renewals, specifically those members who were recruited during last year's spring membership campaign. So that is March 1st through May 31st. If you have a renewal date between March 1st and May 31st, you'll want to pay attention because this applies to you. If you renew on or before February 10th, it's just that you're paying in advance. Your name will be entered into a drawing for a complimentary 2022 regional conference registration of your choice. Now, we sent out a letter to all of those members who were eligible to participate earlier today. We hope you got that letter. If not, check your inbox. If not, give us a call tomorrow. We want to give away at least one, but up to 6 complimentary registrations. So this is our incentive that we're running for our newest members, those who come up for renewal this March, April, and May. Okay, going on to March, it is time to celebrate Women's History Month. Women's History Month, of course, national recognition is one of our 4 tenets outlined in ABWA's mission statement, and what a perfect time to celebrate and recognize the contributions of women. Those are contributions of women perhaps in your ABWA chapter or in your community, or it could be a national figure as well, historical or current. It's also time, as I said earlier, to submit your nominations for national office and to plan and host your league's spring membership campaign. The annual membership campaign that Angela will touch upon in a few minutes is scheduled from March 1st through May 31st. Now, in our next segment, Sherry Devery, Manager of Professional Development, is going to talk about the Apex campus. Sherry.
Thank you, Renee. As a reminder, I am Sherry Devery, Professional Development Manager for ABWA. And I'm going to take a few minutes to address the goals, the features of our programs, and a brief summary on how to register for our courses. So there's no doubt that companies should embrace the kind of forward thinking that promotes continuous learning in the workplace, although with limited resources in these unprecedented times, it likely is not a priority. So whether you are an employer or an employee, as an ABWA member, you know that getting the most out of ABWA's professional development and continuing education is a top priority. A lean management approach to your work can ensure that you're not overspending your time and resources. So in 2022, we have 3 areas of focus. The first In 2021, our members completed 782 programs with 280 unique users. So this year, we want to increase our utilization and unique users by 10%. Next, we want to continue to provide a monthly complimentary course to ABWA members. That's an annual value of $300. And then we want to recreate an awards recognition program for users to recognize those who are achieving professional excellence. So a quick overview of the Apex campus. We have 100+ courses available 24/7. We have courses offered to ABWA members at a 50% discount. Each course generates a certificate of completion to frame or share with your employer, and you will have 45 days to complete a course once you enroll. Now, there are 4 different categories, including the School of Lean, the School of Six Sigma, the Summer Summit Series, and brand new in 2022, we have our email, time, tech, and productivity series. Now, these courses are created by Randy Dean, the email sanity expert. Randy was one of our most popular presenters at this year's National Women's Leadership Conference. So we're excited that we were able to partner with him to offer these courses to ABWA members at an affordable price. His most popular courses range from email and time management, personal organization, and managing effective meetings, to Google Shortcuts and OneNote, OneDrive, and Microsoft Teams. A complete listing can be found in the 6th issue, page 21 of the Achieve newsletter that was published in December. And the PDF of the newsletter can also be downloaded from the national resources. So next, many of you may already be familiar with our School of Lean and Six Sigma programs offered by the Gemba Academy. And we're always trying to keep current with any of their new updated programs. So please check out our 16 brand new courses that we've just added to the Apex campus. They're listed right there on the right side of your screen. So for those of you not familiar with these courses, they are designed to focus on how to personally and professionally build an organizational culture of continuous improvement through extensive Lean and Six Sigma online content and expert coaching. These courses are based on years of experience and ongoing engagement with companies of all sizes across the globe. Now, ABWA offers our members an opportunity to enroll in a different Gemba course complimentary every month. Courses can range from 3 to as many as 29 modules. They include videos, downloadable PDF documents, and some courses have quizzes that you need to pass in order to complete the program and receive that certificate of completion. Once you register for a course, it will appear in your Apex classroom. And as a reminder, you will have 45 days to complete the full program. So next, I wanted to do a brief walkthrough on how to register for these courses. To log into the campus, in your search field, go to the home page of the website by typing abwa.org in your search field, click Login, and add in your login credentials. That will bring up the 4 different categories of programs that we offer. For today, we're going to click on the School of Lean. And that brings up all the programs that we offer under the School of Lean. So we're going to click on the word Register right next to the title program, Gemba Walk Essentials. Next, it brings up just a brief description of what the program is, and at the bottom right, you're going to click on Add to Basket. And as a sort of a reminder, anytime you see that green bar at the bottom right, that's your call to action to get to the next step to register. So next, we're going to click on Review Basket at the bottom right. Next, we're going to click on Checkout and note that the total complimentary courses will be $0. Next, to finalize your purchase, you're just going to click on Submit Order down at the bottom right. And you are in the course. And then up at the top, you just will click on Continue to My Content. And then the very last piece of this is you are in the program. You can either click the green Start button at the top, or down below, you'll click on View Now, View Now, which is the first module of the program. So very simple to register for these courses. So finally, I just want to give a big shout out to a few of our top members who have completed the most courses in 2021. Pam Carvel, Ambassador Steering Committee Chair and also a panelist this evening. Carrie Underhill, District 6 Vice President, Lupe Evans, Adrian Sellers, Kayla Biggerton, and our top user of our Apex campus in 2021 was Joanne Martin, a member of the Golden Royalties chapter. These ladies have been such an inspiration to us and prompted us to recreate an incentive program for Apex users, which we are currently working on. So ABWA members, we hope you take advantage of these engaging professional development courses. And if you have any questions, please call our national team or email us at webmail@abwa.org, and we'll be happy to help you. Thank you, and back to Renee.
Well, thank you, Sherry. Great presentation. And now next on our list is that of our national president, Trina Kazi, who will introduce the KRAs, or key result areas, for 2022. Trina?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Renee. Ladies and gentlemen, your national board has worked very hard to pull together KRAs that will make an impact. So Mary Stevenson, our National Vice President, Cheryl Blair, our National Secretary Treasurer. So thankful to have these ladies working with us this year. And also I'd like to be sure to recognize our district vice presidents, and they started their calls this week and will be following up on the remaining districts on next week. So Rachel Jamerson, District 1 Vice President, Tracy Morgan, District 2 Vice President, Janelle Berlin, District 3 Vice President, Ms. Joyce Wright, District 4 Vice President, Gail Fromm, District 5 Vice President, and Carrie Underhill, District 6 Vice President. Thank you, ladies, for your hard work getting us to the point of defining our KRAs. We reviewed them with our Ambassador Steering Committee and with our national team. So thank you so much, Renee, for sharing that. Next slide, please. So the first set of KRAs I'd like to share are around the Stephen Buckner Memorial Educational Fund. So we used to have outright grants, and we're bringing those back to allow 120 outright grant applicants to be submitted. We will award two $2,000 outright grant scholarships in each district. So make sure every chapter you're getting those outright grants in. You have a $100 contribution to make towards SBMEF to get those scholarship applicants submitted. So shout out to the National Board for making that decision on last year and for this year's board to support that initiative. We also have a goal of $13,200 to be raised using various campaigns. So you may have noticed during Giving Tuesday that Renee and me and Mary and several others put out a Facebook fundraiser. Those monies will go towards helping to raise that $13,200. That money will be divided over all of our districts. You'll be hearing more about that in our district calls, and we're looking forward to making an impact 2022 with all of your help. So those are our KRAs for the Stephen Buckner Memorial Educational Fund. We also want to really focus on ABWA awareness. What does that really mean? It's leveraging those existing partnerships and programs and promoting them through social media and making sure that we're maximizing our market viability. So when we had Small Business Saturday this year, you started to see the national board members post that information. Next year, we want to see every member posting information about these national programs, showcasing that we are a premier organization that cares about programs that impact women and women's small businesses. Giving Tuesday, nonprofit organizations, primarily for us, SBMEF. March is Women's History Month. We want to see those photos and other information shared on social media, on your Facebook pages, your personal pages, and your district pages, so that other people know the importance of women's history. And we are the organization to put that front and forward. April 12th is Equal Pay Day. The ABW American Business Women's Foundation, they do a promo every year. We want to be sure that we're sharing that information with them. What other program can you think of outside of the top 10 program that we have in ABWA that really allows women who are doing great things to be showcased in ABWA at our National Women's Leadership Conference and in magazines across America? September 22nd is American Business Women's Day. This is something that we do all the time, right? We celebrate, we have programs, we have great speakers, but we keep it to ourselves. We have to start publishing that information in ways that people can actually use it outside of our members. That's how you can help gain some membership growth. So I'm looking forward to ABWA Awareness Days. We're trying to get our DVPs and our top 3 officers out to your chapters. Reach out to us. You have your top 10 and your ambassadors to come out and help spread the word of ABWA in every segment that we've noted here. Next slide, please. Now, the National Board also has membership goals. We have trended very well over the last 2 years with our membership, and we would like to see 333 new members in every district this year. How do we get that? If we can get to that 1998 by the end of this calendar year, we will have definitely made an impact. New formations were really key to our growth over the past several years. We want to continue that momentum. If we get 1 new formation chartered in each district this year, we will easily reach that goal. Now, in District 6, we did notice that we had a couple of chapters to get decommissioned, and we want to look forward to what we can do in District 6. California, the west side of the U.S., is a prime area to bring forth a new formation. So if you know of anybody, Angela Zuba is your friend. Reach out to her and your district VP so we can get those conversations started. Now, if we want to really focus on the new membership goals and retaining our members, which is definitely what we want to do, we have to create ways to have those opportunities available for our members. So we will be doing a new member orientation segment as a part of the just-in-time webinars throughout the year. We will be promoting recruitment and retention slide decks that were created last year to make sure that our ambassadors and our leaders and our leagues actually know how to coach members on how to be successful in their business, how to be successful in ABWA, and how to grow personally and professionally through the avenues of ABWA. We will facilitate these 4 new member orientation segments during these sessions, so you'll hear a little bit more about that later with Pam and I partnering. Next slide, please.
So that is the last slide, Trina.
Okay. Thank you, Renee.
Well, thank you, Trina. Our next segment of, if you have any questions about what Trina covered, feel free to reach out to Trina or your district vice president. I know those calls have already begun, so I'm sure you're already hearing about those KRAs this week. Our next segment is that of membership. And Angela Zuba, I'd like to welcome you back, and you will take the lead on this section.
Thank you. So we have 2 primary goals this year that mirror that of the National Board of Directors. The first goal is to increase new member enrollment. In comparing our performances since 2017, we had our best performance this past year, and we hope to exceed that by 10% this year. The second goal is to increase the number of chartering leagues to 6, 1 in each district. We currently have a new formation in the queue, Empowered Professionals of Central Illinois, formation leader and past District 3 Vice President Gina Glover. They are scheduled to charter in the next few weeks and are currently meeting virtually. So if you'd like to show your ABWA support, we've provided you with the contact information on the screen. Congratulations, Gina. So if you are interested in starting a new chapter, or if anybody you know who's interested in starting a chapter, please have them contact me at webmail@abwa.org. So on top of following up with leads and referrals for new members and new formations, I want to share a few of our newest initiatives for 2022. So already in development, we plan to recognize new members who want to be recognized by name and/or picture and their league affiliation on the ABWA National website. This project is in development, and when it is ready, you will be the first to know. And on top of the spring and fall campaigns, we'll include 2 shorter duration campaigns. The first one will be a summer flash sale. This campaign will offer non-members a one-time discount on the national membership fee for their first year only. The second is a Give a Gift campaign for the holiday season. We had some great success last year, and we want to build on that for this year. We've also created a series of ads to use in monthly Facebook and Instagram campaigns to increase the association's visibility. You can see some of them on the screen right now, and these will be used and tested throughout the year. So a few things our members need to know. Spring campaign begins March 1st through May 31st. Incentives are only available while supplies last. So if you wait until the last week, you might miss out. So my advice is to recruit early. We've also created 2 flyers, a 1-pager and a 2-page spread for you to use in your league newsletters. And these will be available tomorrow afternoon, like Renee said, around 5 Central Time. So as you can see on the screen, there are 3 levels of incentives for recruiting 1, 2, and 3 new members. And of course, Renee always gives a few bonus prizes for those members who have gone above and beyond. So I just want to say that this picture does not do these gifts justice. They are amazing, especially that tablet organizer. That is a great way to keep your work bag super neat and organized, and that charm would look perfect on it. So get out there, connect, recruit, and share your ABWA story. There are several resources available for download if you are meeting in person and want to create an informational packet. There are membership applications, about ABWA, a 1-page flyer, the one that you see on the screen now, and a comprehensive brochure about membership in ABWA titled One Membership, a Lifetime of Possibilities. If you're hosting virtual meetings, these items can be converted to a link in Google Drive whereby you can send to your prospective members before, during, or after your meeting event, along with your information on your league meetings. And I would be remiss if I did leave out our celebratory issue of Achieve as an in-value resource. It provides 360 of the ABWA experience in that it highlights the achievements of our members, our leagues, and scholarship recipients, as well as the benefits of membership. So you can send a page or the entire magazine to prospective members. The issue is also in a PDF available for download. Next, Pam Carvel, Ambassador Steering Committee Chair, will introduce a few additional resources you might want to consider.
Yeah, we want to introduce the recruitment slide deck and the retention slide deck. Last year's Ambassador Steering Committee, along with the National Board of Directors, worked on creating these 2 slide decks for use by any league throughout the country. It doesn't matter what district you are, how long you have been in existence, whether you're a new formation or one that's been around for 70 years. These all take into consideration techniques and some key ideas that have been successful throughout other leagues. There's a reason why Indianapolis has been around for 70 years, and it's because they do recruit new members and they have retention. So a lot of times we've had people come to the ambassadors and say, how do you recruit members, or how do you get them, and then how do we keep them? And we've put together these slide decks for you to use. So as stated here, they will be available to download, and if you have any questions on them, please feel free to reach out to either myself or any ambassador to help you present them or help talk through them for clarification, because we want you to be successful, and these are tools that will help you do that. So thank you very much, and they're available for you after tomorrow.
So Pam, I just want to interject something. The membership recruitment slide deck is already available in the National Resources. The retention secret slide deck will be uploaded tomorrow afternoon. And while we have you here, can you just give a brief snippet about the Ambassadors Steering Committee and your role in the association?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Thank you very much, Renee. An ambassador of ABWA is a woman who has been either a past national officer, serving on the National Board of Directors, or a Forever 10. I happen to be both. I happen to be a Forever 10. I was a top 10 in 2018. And then I was also a national vice president in 2009, 2010. But the ambassadors, they opt into this. It's because we want to help the board reach their KRAs and be an offshoot of them. The board is only consisted of 9 members. They cannot be available to every chapter that's out there, every league that's out there. Ambassadors are here to help you. We are definitely a resource for you. And if we don't know the answers, we are connected to a vast network of other ambassadors and other groups who have been there, done that, and continue to do that. And we want to keep this organization going. And it's those ambassadors that will do that. And the big thing there again, too, is that we are available for you. If we don't have the answer, we have the network in which we can reach out to. And we always support the National Board and help do their KRAs. So that's what we're here for. We want to do this. This is an opt-in. We do pay extra dues, which is because we want to be helpful and we want to help you succeed. We want ABWA to be successful, and as a team, we're stronger. So that's what we're here for, and we've put together these things at request of the board to help you do just that. So please feel free to reach out to myself or to any ambassador in your district or out of your district. If you aren't sure where to contact, we'll definitely put you in charge. Reach out to your district vice president. They'll let you know who your ambassador is. There are 2 ambassador reps on the steering committee, 1 rep and 1 co-rep for each district. So the steering committee consists of 14 women. And then we meet monthly to see what's going on, what we can do to help. And that meeting includes Trina and Renee as well. So we are all connected as one big team, and we want you to be successful. So we're just an additional resource that we hope you'll take advantage of. So thanks, Renee.
Well, thank you, Pam. And we hope you have a speedy recovery on that elbow of yours.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Angela, back to you.
All right. Well, in the fall campaign, we promised that members who recruited 3 or more members would be entered into a drawing, a Vera Brad's small spinner luggage bag in classic black, valued at $250. And in addition, the very first member application that we processed, where their name was listed as their sponsor, would also receive the same bag. So tonight's the night. And we did not say that you had to be present to win. So are you ready?
Well, I hope this works, so let's try it. Okay, so there were 18, I believe 18 people that qualified, all of their names, as well as their sponsored individuals. The first member that was sponsored by that individual are named. So you have a pair in each of the boxes on the screen. And let's spin and see who it is.
Oh, congratulations, our member Marcy and our new member Amber. Congratulations and thank you so much for participating in our membership campaign. And your luggage will be shipped to you next week. Now I'm going to turn it back over to Renee. Thank you.
Good. Wow. Well, that went now off without a hitch, so that's always fun. Well, thank you, Angela. Nice presentation. I appreciate your prep for this this event. And our next agenda item is that of the theme templates and resources. And I just want to reiterate my statement earlier is that you do not have to use these theme templates and resources. If you are creative and you have a graphic designer in your Chapter Express network, why not use their talents? So it is not required that you use these, but we have them available. So I'm going to give you a quick preview of these, and then I'm going to show or demonstrate how to download these items. The first is the annual theme logo. As you could see on the screen, I give you a brief description of what the butterfly means, but I also share with you the font type and the RGB formula for the colors that you see in the logo in the type. And this theme logo will be available in a PDF, in a JPEG, and a PNG. And you know those are acronyms for a much longer name. So PDF, JPEG, and a PNG formatted file. In addition, we created 4 different concepts for Facebook canvases. One that includes ABWA's tagline, Changing Women's Lives One Woman at a Time. Another includes the ABWA National Board of Directors that you see their lovely faces on the screen. On the lower left-hand side, you have the members from the Crescent City Express Network. And I just want to point out that member happens to be the American businesswoman, Cindy Osmer. We love that photo that they shared with us, and we wanted to use that. And the right-hand side is just a regular graphic to use. In addition, we have a theme program, something you might want to put your monthly program in, as well as a theme newsletter. And those images that you see on the screen can be all changed out, font can be changed out, and so on. Now, the newsletter template, I was counting today, I think there's 10 or 12 pages in that. And I know that's about the average size of newsletter, so it should work pretty well for you. But they will be available in Word and some of them in Publisher. For a second year in a row, because of the request, we have done a theme PowerPoint template. Again, you can modify this and customize it in the way that it works best for you. And then we have themed Zoom backgrounds. We created 4. But I know we have some talented graphic designers in here. So if you want to create your own Zoom background, because many of you are still in virtual meetings with this Omicron virus, please feel free to do so. So you can see I added my name to these just for effect here. And the one on the right is for our friends in the South Atlantic states. So in this next segment, what I like to do is share with you how to download national resources from Community Connections. For our newest members, I want to share with you that Community Connections is really our central repository for all of the association's resources. And if you are new to the organization, I want to encourage you to consider familiarizing yourself with Community Connections, because sooner or later you will serve in a leadership position. And probably sooner than later, you will be tasked to find and download and utilize 1 or 10 of these resources. So in this next segment, I will share with you how to do so. And then for our league leaders, I want to share with you that this portion of the webinar, as well as the next portion of the webinar, these will be standalone. So I'll edit it out so that all you're seeing is this. And if you wanted to use this portion for a new member orientation or for leader orientation, they'll be available to you in the national resources. So this section is called Downloading National Resources from Community Connections. To begin, you have to go to the ABWA homepage of the website. The URL is abwa.org. You click on the left-hand side, top left-hand side, there's a link that says Login. You click on the link, and then you add your credentials. Once you do that, you will enter into this portal. You are now inside the association. As you can see on the screen, there is a hyperlink called Community Connections. And there are also hyperlinks for a lot of different initiatives. Note that right below Community Connections is the Apex Campus. But for the purposes of today's presentation, we're going to go back to Community Connections. If I click on this link, I'm going to enter into my dashboard in Community Connections. And I want you to note that on the top screen, on the top of your screen, the green bar is a navigational bar. Click on National Resources. When you click on National Resources, you will see the hundreds of resources that are available to league leaders. Now, to find a listing of all the resources, you could do it in a lot of different ways, but I think the easiest and the one that I'm going to demonstrate here this evening is that I would encourage you to download the resource that is here, the index of all the national resources, where if you download this document, you could see all the listing and the categories in which they are listed. And that is indicated by the blue arrow. I also want to point out that everything that ends in national, that you see on the screen right down here, national, that means that is a national resource. That means that's something that ABWA National has produced or created or published or what have you. And that is available to all. But anything that says league indicates that that link, that resource can only be accessed by the members of the league, can only be accessed by the members of the league. And those are proprietary documents of the league, such as their annual plans, their budget, their standing rules, and perhaps their newsletters. So again, we're going to go back to the link for the index of the national resources. And I just enlarged that screenshot so you could see it right here. When I click on that link, it's going to bring me over here. I could simply click on the link and you see what Sherry said, the green button is a call to action. So click on download resource. You have to choose where you want to download it, of course, on your desktop. And click save. And then once you do, you could open up the file, you could share it, you could print it, or whatever you like to do with that file. Now that concludes how to download a national resource. So all of the resources that we are referencing here this evening, you will be able to access tomorrow around 5 p.m. Same is true in this next portion. This is a request that we received, several requests we received in the past month, is how to upload your league's proprietary resources to your league's team board. Now, it's a bit of a different process, but I'm going to start from the beginning, and I will, again, this segment will be a standalone video that you can preview at any point in time. The title is How to Upload Your League's Proprietary Resources in Community Connections. Starting from the beginning, you go to the ABWA website and you click on that login link on the upper left-hand side of the homepage. You add in your credentials. This takes you to the main menu. From the main menu, you again click on Community Connections, and this takes you into your dashboard. Now, this time, you're not going to go to the national resources. You are going to go to My Groups. My Groups, located on the green navigational bar. Now, for today's demonstration, I chose to impersonate Joanne Martin because I thought that would give you a more realistic view of what it looks like from a member's perspective versus an administrator's perspective. So in a short minute, you will see that I am Joanne Martin. So when I click on My Groups as Joanne Martin, I see that I'm affiliated with one group, and that is the Golden Royalties chapter. However, throughout the year, Joanne Martin may actually be affiliated with several different groups depending on her level of engagement. And these we call ad hoc groups, such as regional conference team boards, or the summer solstice series, or the national conference. Those are all ad hoc groups. Depending on her level of engagement, will appear in the same section below the Golden Royalties. But for now, we're going to click on Golden Royalties. Now this takes me into the Golden Royalties chapter team board. Now, Joanne was tasked to upload some documents from last week's Martin Luther King Jr. celebration, but she has no way of doing that. Does anyone know why? Well, I'll tell you. The answer is simple. Joanne is not an elected officer, so therefore she's not assigned as a moderator. And thus she does not have permission to upload any documents into her team board. But let's just say that we've been requested, or it was requested by their executive board, that we give her access and assign her as a moderator status. So what does her team board look like now? Well, you see, we have two new function keys, one including add resource. So from here, Joanne's going to add a resource, one of those pictures or files or something from last week's event. She clicks on add a resource, and that takes her, this is the top part of the form. For the most part, all of you will click on file. Here is the expanded version of that form. Now, I'm not going to read each of these fields that have to be completed, but you could see there are a lot of them. It doesn't take as long as it looks, but you have to develop a rhythm for it. And once you do, it's pretty quick. I think the most important thing is to include the name of the publisher and an overview or brief description of the resource, so anyone who's looking for it understands what they're going to get if they download this resource. The next point I want to make is whether or not to feature this resource. I will share with you that resources, whoops, I just pushed over, let me move on. I will share with you that the resources featured should be featured sparingly, which means that every item that you feature, if you choose to feature something like perhaps your recent newsletter, you should consider unfeaturing something else. Otherwise, it becomes a bit of a disaster and difficult to locate your documents, because when you feature an item, that item actually appears at the top of your listing. So again, pay attention. If you choose to feature, you may want to go back in and look at what resources you can unfeature. And I'm going to demonstrate that. And it just so happened it's not unique to ABWA, but I'll demonstrate that in this screen. This is the Kansas City Express Network. This is pretty typical of what I see in all of our leagues. You can see some of these documents that are still being featured are 2019 or 2000, I think there was one 2018 in here. So the objective is you just want the most recent things on the top so members have easy access to find them. Now, how do you locate resources that are in your team board? Well, you could search for them right here in this search field by typing the name of the resource. Or you could use this drop-down menu that is over here to the right, right below Add Resource, and you see you could sort those resources through here. And the download process is the same. So you click on the link and you just proceed as before. And that concludes this segment on how to upload resources to your team board. And so I'm pleased to say that we are running ahead of schedule. So our next segment is on the new member orientation, and I will turn this over to Pam and Trina again.
Thank you, Amy. I'm so delighted to be on with Pam Carvell. I've looked up to her for many, many years. Thought I saw her a second ago. I know that broken arm will not put you at any less capacity. So thank you so much for everything you've contributed to ABWA. And thank you so much for your leadership as our ambassador lead. ABWA's mission is really about the personal and professional growth of every member. It is for you, it's not for your job or any of that. It's to develop strong leaders and for you to gain the business knowledge in a working environment. Opportunities to apply your business skills and gain those learning experiences at the local and regional level, as well as provide membership to you as a member from our past leaders and current leaders. We also provide an opportunity for the executive board and your business meetings to provide learning opportunities on how to lead a business meeting, how to lead a board meeting, how to develop your business. So we're going to talk to you about what some of those personal and professional development opportunities are. Next slide, please. So Pam, I know that you're an ambassador. You've been around for a while. We have all of these professional development opportunities. We talked about the regional conference and the national conference earlier. Can you give us your experience as a member and how our new members really can look at some of these opportunities they may see on the screen and and how it can make a difference in their lives?
Absolutely. I've taken advantage of a lot of these things, and these things have really played into my professional life. I work for a very large corporation, and a lot of times I don't get these opportunities at my place of employment. So having them here in a safe environment, I know Renee has in the past called it like a rehearsal hall, where you get a chance to really, use your skills, practice in an area and an environment where women will uplift you. They will give you constructive criticism, but they will give you that atta girl and that encouragement and that support to get behind you and push you in what you need to do. And if you don't get these opportunities in your job, this is a great place to learn it. And you're not going to jeopardize your job by learning it if you do fail, which is the big thing. One perfect example is public speaking. Another one is treasurer. Again, I work for a large corporation. I don't necessarily get to do budgeting, but I learned by being the treasurer of both the council and my local league. And you try to do those things, and people are always there for you. The women in ABWA create that safe environment, that mentorship, which is why I've been a member for over 25 years. Yes, I was too. No, I'm just kidding. But that's what keeps us here, and we help each other and we support each other, and we're always there to just back each other up. So the webinars that we provide, and you get the chance to lead, you get the chance to present at national and regional conferences, to be recognized, and the recognition that you get here is great PR for you. I know for me, after I was elected vice president, national vice president in 2009, I went back and actually got a promotion 2 weeks later at my job. So those types of things are always helpful. Again, this was what sets us apart. It's what sets you up to be successful, both personally and professionally.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pam. And Renee Street, thank you so much for joining us. I am loving all of the objectives that have been set, not just by the national board, but by your team. I know Angela or Sherry actually talked about some of the lean courses that are available in Apex. And if you don't know what lean learning is or lean process improvement is, go and take these classes. Your membership covers that. I don't know if you know this, but I think what was it, ZipRecruiter, $126,000 a year is the top salary for a lean certified professional. So you don't have to be degreed to get some of these certifications. So we want to just encourage each of our members to take advantage of the offerings from our national office. These ABWA sponsored events like the Just-in-Time webinar, our regional national conferences. You'll sometimes get pop-up educational events where Renee has found a absolutely phenomenal speaker that can make a difference in what we're doing in the business world today. So don't let these opportunities pass you by. What I will say is that if you just sign up and don't do nothing, you will get nothing out of it. You have to take advantage of the opportunities that are there before you. I've heard it many, many times from many, many people, you will get out of ABWA what you put in. So if you show up, you pay attention, you contribute, you will get something out of this association. I am a, 22-year member, and I used to dream when I looked at Pam Carvell about being national president. Many other ladies on this call, and you end up with a tribe that you didn't expect. People that will pour into you and send you text messages in the middle of the day when you could be, having a really, really rough time about whatever. So it's more than just an association. It's a place for you because somebody extended the hand of friendship to make you a part of this association. So I encourage each member to take advantage of these professional development and networking opportunities. And we're going to cover a couple more points. We don't want to keep you all day. I think there's one more slide, Renee. Lifelong learning.
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was just about to come to you. I think we covered Apex Campus and the mission, all of that. But these other programs are programs that were targeted by our executive director. We gave away 2 scholarships for MBAs through North Central University. Pam, you want to talk a little bit about the KU experience at our national conferences and the Franklin Covey, and you know what extensive training they provided businesses for years, right?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to. Thanks, Trina. And this is true. And I want to point out what you see on the screen right now is one of the main things that sets ABWA apart from all the other organizations out there. I know people say there are other networking organizations and that kind of stuff. They do not offer the professional development that we do and that ABWA offers you, and especially at the cost. There are KU courses that are MBA essentials, meaning that they are part of an MBA program that come from the Kansas University. They are put on by the Kansas University during our conference, and those courses are included in your registration fee. These are normally courses that are very expensive, you know, as far as college credits, and you get that in there. Plus you're with women that are like-minded and want to learn as well. Franklin Covey, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of that and know all the books and all of their types of courses that they offer. And again, these are all offered at regional conferences as part of your registration fee, which is a huge, not only discount, but benefit. And you get to be in there again with women that you can then talk to afterwards and convey and, you know, work with and talk about networking and how you compared it to your league versus their league. But these are all opportunities that you can use, and they are all part of the registrations as at the regional and national conferences, and they are very, very well worth the money and the time.
Thank you. Thank you so
Trina,
much.
you bet.
Thank you, Pam. I know when I was trying to go to the Franklin Covey class, when I first started out, those classes used to be $400 for a 2 to 3 day class, right? So you get an opportunity to get this in leadership training, motivational speakers, and all of that at the ABWA national conferences. So I'm very much looking forward to what our regional conference season is going to be like. Thank you, Executive Director Renee Street, for all the great effort you put into planning 3 conferences. So look for more information about that. And what I'll ask each of our members is that you just sign up and show up for yourself, and it will make an impact. Renee, I know you know this because I believe that you really care about women at its core and how we can make a difference in the world. That's why you do what you do. That's what I believe about Renee Street. So as we close out, if you could just give a statement around how ABWA is there for every woman, regardless of where you are, if you're new to career, middle career, even thinking about retiring and starting a new job or a new small business idea. Can you close us out and just giving them a little bit about why ABWA is there for every woman? Thank you so much, Pam Carpet.
Well, I think I just want to say is, yes, it is there for every woman. We don't ask people to, we're not targeting people that are only at a certain age. We know that women have different needs throughout their career. And so whether you're starting your career or you're on the back 9 of your career, ABWA has something to offer for you. And so that's what I think I learned a long time ago from a colleague of mine and a past national president, Casey Coven, and it goes back to something you said, is that you get, I know Casey was on today, so that just warmed my heart, is that you get into this experience what you want out of it. So if you sit on the sidelines, sit on the bench, it's not going to be a worthwhile investment. If you put something into the experience, if you try